All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more coLcast action. Scrimcast live right here, brought to you by me, your casting host, Beef. Not going to have a co-caster right now. Unfortunately, was not able to. Nova wanted to cast, but he's in the middle of a TMM, and he said he needed 5 more minutes, but unfortunately was not able to grab him for this one. Perhaps for the next game, though, we'll have to see. stayGreen taking on Complexity once again. Scores tied up at 1-1 in this Scrim series. But keep in mind, Scrims, new strategies coming out, trying different things, so it doesn't mean a whole lot. But, of course, we do get to see 2 of the top teams in the scene. And, well, ones with a little bit of rivalry to them, playing against one another and tying up the series. We've had some great games so far. The last one, well, it ended with some big swings from Hammerstorm. Double damage, farmed up Hammerstorm. Just swinging inside of a Tempest ult, inside of a Keeper ult, inside of another Keeper ult. It was ultception, and B-Kid reaped the rewards with that giant hammer, hitting 500 damage and getting the big plays there at the end of the last game. Complexity taking that one, SG taking the one before, and we'll see if SG lets Complexity have Keeper and Tempest once again. That would be quite the mistake, but we'll get into it here in just one moment. Let's take a look at this game. Ophelia, Parasite, Wild Soul, and Zephyr being banned out. So similar bans to the last time. Not banning out, there was an odd ban. Draconis was an odd blind ban earlier. But take a look at the locks. Keep it the Forest, Tempest, Fade, Pharaoh, Bubbles, and Magmus. So a very strong lock pool right there. Some great junglers. You got great mid point stunners like the Fade, the Magmus, and then the Suicides with the Pharaoh and the Bubbles. Nice varied lock pool right there. And definitely a very good one. So Complexity and Trademark, or not Trademark, stayGreen should both be happy with that one. Bans going out. Well, we do have B-Kid banning out Moon Queen, Electrician, and Jeraziah. So getting rid of a carry himself. Now, Carry's still on the board. Silhouette, Moon Queen, and Draconis both been banned. Silhouette, FA, Dark Lady. We'll see. And what is Jangbang doing? Jangbang being Jangbang. Go ahead and do this real quick. There we go. No more of that from Jangbang. There you go. So, let's take a look at the bans on the other side. We did, in fact, have Jeraziah, Electrician, Moon Queen. And on the other side, Draconis, Tundra, Plague Rider being banned by Swindlemon. So, Dragon does get banned in the later stages there, along with Tundra and Plague Rider, 2 other bans that he did carry over from the previous games. The Great Initiator, as well as the fantastic Suicide there with Plague Rider. First pick was Pebbles. SG picking up Wretched Hag. So, it seems like Hellborn team gets Wretched Hag every time, and she's had a very high success rate so far. Engineer also going to be picked up for their hard support. While on Complexity side, they go with the Luna, and then they go with the Soul Stealer pick. So a hero that died off completely for like a year, and now is making a little bit of a return onto the scene. He's coming back, and people are saying, okay, well, we've got rid of him because he was not capable of actually just getting in there, getting the damage done, getting that mid lane won without dying significantly to gank heavy metagames. So just very, very unfortunate for a Soul Stealer at that point. But after that, people are like, okay, well, we can put him in the mid and babysit him again like we did. Soul Stealer Glacius lane, old school as it comes. We can try that. Or we can put him in a short lane. Hell, we can even put him in a long lane. And as long as he's able to get the protected farm in the first 10-15 minutes of the game, then he can actually carry himself through the mid game and really do some serious work. On the other side, those SG going Rally, a very aggressive hero that we like to see quite often. Moonman are going to go with the Keeper of the Forest first pick here, and SG taking their time to consider this one. They got 35 seconds to make their pick. It's got to be a Tempest. It's got to be a Tempest unless they're actively trying to give Keeper of the Forest Tempest away to figure out how to deal with that. And, well, we'll see here in just a moment if that is, in fact, what they're going to be doing. 20 seconds. I think they need to go with a Tempest, and they need to go with the Suicide. And, in fact, there you go. Tempest along with the Pharaoh. And Pharaoh, I think one reason that they went with this, by the way, it's going to be a Bubbles here. One of the reasons that they went with that Pharaoh is that Pharaoh's Hellfire actually screws over Soul Stealer really, really hard until that Soul Stealer is able to get a Shrunken Head. The Hellfire, if he gets right on top of him, Soul Stealer cannot ult. So Pharaoh does a very good job with that. Also able to withstand the Pebbles combo and plus a Luna Snipe a lot better than a Bubbles can. So I like this choice of getting the Pharaoh. And Pharaoh versus Soul Stealer in the long lane bottom, it's going to work out okay for KheZu. If they stack him some regen, it'll work out actually pretty well for him, especially with the passive jungler there in Keeper of the Forest. So you have to look out for that one. Let's get on into this game. As a pause is going to come out here. So hopefully this one won't take too long. Just it would not be a game between two top level teams without a pause. Jang bang. See ya. So SG most likely going to be running Engineer Rally in the middle lane. And why is the HP bar gone? I don't understand that. But I guess I must have misclicked that at some point. Of course, you just click them like that and they disappear. I click the health bar, or the cooldowns all the time on these, and I have to turn them back on. I wish that I could just leave them locked like that somehow. And if somebody knows how to do that, well, let me know. So it's going to be Engineer Rally versus a Luna Pebbles in the middle lane. And I feel like Engineer Rally definitely has the better initiation of the two. If they can catch somebody out of position, they're going to be able to do it much, much easier as a result of being able to get just that compel. Lip goes the R. But the compel, the long-range keg, can be very nice. The problem is that if they push someone in, if they push the engineer in, or the Rally pushes himself in, the chances of him getting straight up comboed by Pebbles in the face are extremely high. And Rally's a tanky dude, right? Like, he's a pretty tanky dude. He has decent magic armor, 5.5, and 600 HP with no stats at level 1. But is he going to be able to take a full Pebbles combo at level 3, plus auto attacks, plus a power throw from a Luna? I don't know. We'll have to see. It depends how good of a compel they get, how much follow-up they can get, how good the creep wave is, the keg, all that. It's all going to be very, very dependent. But we'll see. Most likely going to be them in the middle. Could be going to the bottom as well. Send the Wretched Hag short, send the Pharaoh mid. And as we actually see that KheZu is on that Pharaoh, it would make sense that he's going to be going bottom. He has been kind of rotating into that suicide role more often than not lately. But we'll have to see. And yeah, I wish that Trouf was casting with me. A little bit unfortunate that we were planning on casting, but had some technical issues there, and now he's got his stream up and doing his own thing. So no hard feelings whatsoever. I just wish that I had a co-caster here, especially for these long pauses. It can definitely take a little while to get some things sorted out sometimes. And I'm even gonna give him a question mark. Say, what's going on, guys? Long lane going to be Keeper of the Forest against Wretched Hag. And this is actually a lane that Keeper of the Forest actually has a pretty decent time against. Lots of question marks thrown out right there. But yeah, Keeper of the Forest, especially against a relatively passive jungler like this Tempest. At least until Tempest is able to hit level 6, Keeper of the Forest is going to have a pretty decent time. Jesus, Zai. He's going to have a decent time up there against Wretched Hag. Oh, wow. So yeah. Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought right there. But anyway, getting back into that lane, yeah, Keeper of the Forest is gonna have a decent time. The problem being that when Tempest hits 6, Tempest is gonna walk over and he's gonna use that Elemental Void on Keeper of the Forest, and they're gonna kill Keeper of the Forest, and then they're gonna push down his tower. And that is what will happen 90 times out of 100, 9 times out of 10 in that lane. And look at this. So right now, at least, Engineer going to be headed to the bottom lane, and Pharaoh going to be going mid. So look at that. They stack some actual regen on him, allowing him to get a couple of minor totems. And so this is interesting. I feel like, this is actually kind of strange here. So there's two possibilities. SG thinks that they're going to be going up against a Pebbles, a Luna bottom, and so they want to meet up, man up, 2 versus 2. And so that would actually be a good decision. Leaving the Soul Stealer against the Rally Engineer is not going to work out so well. So right now, that's what it looks like it's going to be. Soul Stealer going to back way the heck on up. And looks like he's going to be going mid. And with 2 passive junglers in the game, mid is not going to be that much of a hot spot. Like, if it was a 2v2 lane, yeah, there'd be a ton of pressure going on right there. But as a 1v1 lane, there's not going to be a whole lot of ganks being set up there. Because what the hell? That's not supposed to happen. Yeah. Disable this real quick. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it bugs out. And you can hear team chat. So bottom lane is going to be Engineer and Rally. So coL definitely getting the worst end of this mind game. Going to be sending Pebbles mid. And Pebbles mid with a hatchet versus Pharaoh with a hatchet. It's going to be a complete one-on-one here. This is going to be all about skill, all about last hitting, all about positioning, all that. Whereas in the bottom lane, it is all about the lane matchup. And a Luna Soul Stealer versus Rally Engineer is a awful, awful lane matchup. Like, you're just not going to be able to get anything done there. So coL makes the right decision here. They move Luna back into the middle lane, and they're going to try to establish lane control here in a moment. They're going to try to prevent the farm from coming out here on Pharaoh, and just try to keep his levels down while Soul Stealer tries not to die in the bottom lane. And what I'd actually like to see them do is right now, I'd like to see a transition from B-Kid and Luna into the bottom lane. But the problem is that Complexity can do that, and then SG just follows. They just say, okay, well, we're going to take our Engineer Rally lane into the middle, and we're going to make sure that your Soul Stealer does not get farmed. And this is the problem with Soul Stealer. You need to have a safe lane for him. You want him to be going up against a Suicide, or you want him to be babysat against a lane that doesn't have 2 extremely strong stuns. But unfortunately, that's exactly what he's up against. And Haxerin going to be in some trouble for sure. Going to bring out a Ward of Revelation here and do some counter warding. In fact, right on top of this ward. And so Hax, oh man, Hax might actually place this in the wrong position, and does. So Z-Freak with the clutch Ward of Sight positioning there. Luna up here with the Haste Rune, actually doing a fantastic job of harassing his opponent. Got a lot of experience right there. And even picked up kills on 3 of those Tempest Elemental minions, so that's going to be nice. Wait, hold on a second. Penny, you're not in this game, are you? Like, you're not spectating? Yeah, you're not in here. Otherwise, I'd totally bring you on. So right there, Soul Stealer is still going to continue to struggle. Level 1, 62 experience per minute. It's good that he's gotten at least some experience. But, well, that's a total of 3-4 creep kills, something like that, that he's gotten experience for. Definitely unfortunate. And a Luna not being able to get the job done of completely denying the farm to Keizu here in the middle lane. Just by the fact that he's able to get those early levels, level 3, I believe, before Luna actually came back into lane, he's able to defend himself. He has that wall of mummies. He has the Hellfire, and he's even got the level 2 Tormented Soul now to spam out, in addition to his hatchet, and get some last hits. Even trying to duck in there from some experience. And when you're able to run the support away just like that, when the support is afraid of you in this position, you're losing the lane. top lane, Wretched Hag going to be going up against Bubbles and Moon Meander. Doing all right up there, 15-0. Six at 10-3, so Moon's actually winning in terms of farm in this lane. And Keeper of the Forest is actually going to be in the jungle. So I screwed up when I was talking about Keeper of the Forest actually being up there in the top lane. I forgot there had been such a long pause that my brain exploded as there's a Shell Surf coming in. 2 more auto attacks in. Tempest will go down, cutting down the trees, trying to get in here deep. And nice power throw from Aluna. Come over there and secure the kill. Bubbles will head back to his lane now with the knowledge that he gets that one. And Soul Stealer goes down in the bottom lane. Rally making sure to go deep with the Compel. Keg turret used as well. And Engineer just able to back on up, use his potions. Potion. And going to be able to continue harassing Haxorn, who is TPing back out to the lane. Poor Hax. He wanted to get this counter ward off so bad. If he was able to get that, he would have been able to start CSing. And top lane, Bubbles and Aluna still trying to go onto this Wretched Hag. But no. Not going to be able to bring her down. Well, not just yet at least. Bubbles does not have a Shell Surf, but he does have a couple ticks on his bottle. And now he's going to have a Shell Surf. Wretched Hag. Ooh, if that power throw had connected, might have gone in. That Shell Surf will, though. And Wretched Hag in some trouble. A couple more auto attacks. She will escape. Bubbles looking to follow up. Oh, just so short on mana on that kelp field. This is a little bit too little. Pebbles in the middle lane. Let's take a look at the CS here. Pebbles currently at 32-10, 329 gold per minute. It's great for him. 212 gold per minute at 18-0 though for Khezu. And going up in a 1v2 lane, Khezu's done a fantastic job so far. And stayGreen definitely getting the better end of this laning situation. Tempest hitting level 6. He's out farming his opposing jungler over there just by a little bit. I mean, the experience per minute tells a little bit better of a story. Not 30% faster than Keeper of the Forest, but that's what Tempest does. He just farms better than every other jungler in the game. Pretty spawn independently. And you'll oftentimes very much so see him getting that really early farm. As Pebbles was trying to get the bottle in the bottom lane. Gonna turn around here onto somebody. No, not going to just yet. And took a lot of damage at the hands of Engineer and Pharaoh. Not gonna matter in the end. We'll just make his way back to the middle lane and keep on CSing. Tormented Soul going to come out, and Pebbles is actually pretty low on life now. 285 life currently. Needs to be careful because if one person comes in here along with the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh gets some mana for all of his spells, could spell Doom for B-Kid in the middle lane, and that is most certainly not what you want. Z-Freak going to go in for some additional wards here, and will block this camp once again. In the top lane, there's the Elemental Void, and that's what I'm talking about. Your Tempest hits level 6, level 7, and just walks right on in there. Ward from Z-Freak. I should see everything. Yeah. Okay, that was kind of an awkward placement. I was like, uh-oh. Did he misplace that? But no. It does actually give vision. You can actually see where it gives vision here by where the fog ends. So, giving vision all the way up here. Very well placed ward. Better than I would have done it, that's for sure. Hex still having a lot of trouble down here. 0-1-0. And Bubbles comes in with the Shell Surf Song of the Sea. Gonna get turned around upon, though. Drops the taunt, actually. But Moon Meander might get humiliated right here. And no, take cover on the last couple auto attacks there. And Tempest, he's in some trouble. Power throw, Shell Surf, something. And power throw. Not looking for the power throw. Sees him. Can he close the distance, though? Needs to go for a sweet angle. And, oof, not going to be able to close the distance after all. Hag and Tempest both get away, and Moon going for the style points with that taunt. I don't know about that. That was real scary. real scary. Oh man, Hack's still sitting at 0-0 in terms of CS. Incredible job coming out from the Friedman brothers down here in the bottom lane. Getting very, very good lane control down here keeping it so far back. Is in the middle lane. Stalagmite's going out, and Tempest could be in some trouble. Gonna be okay, though, as he puts out the Glacial Blast. Same can't be said for Aluna, as the Hellfires are gonna be coming in. There's the auto attack. The Tormented Soul to finish him off. Shell Surf coming in. Not gonna be actually followed up on, though, as Moon was very low on life and mana. If he had mana right there, easy double tap with the root coming in from Riser on top of the Kelpfield Song of the Sea. But unfortunately, Moon wasn't full up, just out of gas at that point. So this strategy really working out so far by SG. And, well, the Soul Stealer pick. I mean, what are you going to do in this position? If you're... Oh, damn, I just hit my microphone. I hope that wasn't too loud for you guys. If you have a Draconis or a Silhouette in this position, what are you going to do differently? You might get a little bit more experience. You might get a last hit here or there. But really, not a whole lot different. As Keeper of the Forest is going to find Engineer. Backs off, though. Level 7 Keeper, a little too afraid to engage with level 4 Engineer. Wasn't quite sure where Swindlemons might have been. And Swindle, speaking of him, 399 gold per minute. Top in the game. He has finished up Ghost Marchers, Mana Battery, and a Helm of the Black Legion. So going to be able to get into the thick of these team fights with just no repercussions whatsoever. Riser on Keeper of the Forest, going to be coming back in with a double damage rune. Going to take out some creeps and should have 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds left on that one. And he's going to be able to push down the bottom tower if he should so choose to do so, but not going to do that just yet. And it's really odd that neither of these teams has started to try to force down the long lane towers. It's something that you typically see very early on, but, well, Slick's going to be static farming and Hack's trying to help out Keeper of the Forest in the jungle. He is up to 69 gold per minute now with one creep kill, but just suffer for our Soul Stealer player here. Swindlemon's just going to farm forever, and I like this. Like, if you had a Magnus, say, in this position, or a Pebbles, they'd be off ganking at this point. Which is great, but you don't need that right now. You've won your lanes. You don't need to go off ganking, because ganking can lead to overextensions. They're going to go in for the Elemental Void right here, and Bubbles will go down once again. Bat Blast, probably not needed. B-Kid gets the kill in the middle lane, though, with the assistance of Riser and Franzi. So gets the kill onto that level 8 Pharaoh finally. And now we're going to see the pushes coming out. Top lane from Tempest, mid lane from the Complexity Squad. Like I said, you don't need to be ganking at this point as SG, and especially as your rally. Get further farmed up. Hit level 11 at like 13, 14 minutes into the game. Get really, really big, because if you gank and it fails, you're wasting a ton of time. Go for the sure thing until it's not working for you anymore. As in the top lane, attempted deny, but flubbed right there by the Complexity Squad. A rare mistake on something as simple as denying that tower. But just an early auto attack there from B-Kid. Maybe he was thinking that Franzi would be coming in with the assist, and not happening, I guess. Hasted Keeper of the Forest could punch down this Engineer. Not going to be just yet, though. And, well, there's the Compel. Not going to connect, though. And Rally actually going to try to steal a lot of these creeps. I'd actually approve of him even using the Seismic Slam here, just to ensure the kill on all these creeps, because as soon as the Keeper minions are gone, they're going to run away. And he's going to have to use another Compel. He's actually not going to even kill them. So, you know what? 80-second cooldown, 125 mana. Use that Seismic Slam, kill every single one of those creeps all day long. All day long, but whatever. Not a big deal. He doesn't want the extra 100 gold. Rally going to continue to farm here in the bottom lane. While Bubbles is actually looking for a gank up here. Nice power throw there from Moonmander and Franzi. Good coordination. Franzi just right on top of it with that one. A clutch Ward of Sight paying off. Power throw coming in. Helps them to get some creep kills as well as the kill onto the Tempest. And definitely going to set Chessie back from finishing up the portal key that he might have been looking for. momentarily. And so here might be the end of the road for Rally. They're pushing down the tower right now, and he's happy to tank the tower with that Helm of the Black Legion to get this push going even further. Not a problem, but as soon as this tower goes down, then he's going to have to either rotate or he's going to have to start ganking. And rotating means that he's going to be kicking Hag or Pharaoh out of their lanes, and they really need to get a little bit of recovery. Slick's doing all right at 283 gold per minute, but Keizu down at 236. He'd like to have a lane to farm just safely for a minute or two. And so the great thing about pushing this, you get map control. It's in the middle lane. Pharaoh's into trouble again. Keizu getting gone on by 5 players. Uses the Wrath of Pharaoh, but it's not going to matter. Hag was trying to run down the level 3 Soul Stealer. Kind of weird seeing a level 3 Soul Stealer at 14 minutes into the game with Steam Boots. So anyway, you get the tower, great. You're going to be able to get the map control, you get the gold. The problem is that it's going to push the lane out, and you're not going to be able to farm that lane until it counter pushes. The other good part is if you drop a ward like this, or another one down here, you can actually set up ganks on somebody that's coming to or from this lane. So we'll see. If they're looking to take 2, though, that would be fantastic for the stayGreen squad. And in fact, nice ward of sight right there from Engineer. Going to catch Pebbles perfectly. And that portal key on Pebbles, I think, is what actually set up the kill in the middle lane. Pebbles needs to be very, very careful, though. And, well, here's the Compel. No, Deafening Roar, then the Compel. Gag, Seismic Slam going to hit as well. And Pebbles dropping the Stalagmites. Chuck! But he goes down as a B-Kid. Not quite fast enough on that portal key. I mean, I don't even know if it was possible to get away from the portal key. With the portal key, with that Deafening Roar, but I don't know. In the end, he does go down. Middle lane goes down for SG, and 15,000, or excuse me, 15 minutes in, 7,000 gold lead, 4,200 experience lead before the SG squad. And they're looking real good in this game. Level 10 Rally, going to be hitting level 11 around 17 minutes in, which is a great point to be doing that at. Level 2 Seismic Slam. And what is he going to buy next? He's got the Chalice, he's got the power supply for the mana regen, and he's got another 2,000 gold saved up. Shrunken Head, Soul's Bulwark, always a possibility. He has gone for the only 1 point in commanding battle experience. So that's the build that he's going to be going for. Bubbles goes in. Shellsurf, Song of the Sea, Kelpfield. Combo onto Tempest right there. Not a whole lot of damage. Wrath of Pharaoh going to be coming in. Pushstick going to be able to save Tempest for now. Pebbles not going to be so lucky. He goes down. The Bat Blast did connect. Tempest going to go down to the root right there. And looks like that's going to be the end of the fight. The tower should be denied here. Swindlemelons looks like he wants to come back in, though. And maybe going to be coming back in. There's the Tormented Soul going to be going out. The Compel not going to connect right there. There's the Deafening Roar. TP's coming back in. Deny on the tower, and Swindle could be in some trouble. Seismic Slam not going to connect with anything. Compel up in another 5 seconds right now. He's taking so much damage. There's the energy field from his brother. And wait, hold on. What?
3 kills already?
Okay, Bubbles was up there, I guess. I don't know what Moon was doing up there. I literally have no clue what Moon was doing up there. I guess he had used the Shell Surf, might have accidentally hit the Q. Might have used the Q to try to dodge the Tormented Soul. I don't know. That was odd. Overall, fight still in favor of stayGreen. They lost Tempest, but not a huge deal. Tempest ult still available. Now, one problem for Chessie is his farm has dropped off 292 gold per minute, and he still doesn't have his portal key. Going for a Bracer instead. He wants to stay safe against his Pebbles and make sure that he doesn't get comboed down. But, not going for that early portal key. I really do prefer that. Getting the initiation on the Keeper of the Forest, on the Pebbles. Awesome, awesome initiation possibilities with that portal key. Instead, maybe Chessie saving up for a Shrunken Head nice and early. Doesn't want to have to deal with being broken by so many spells on the other team. Rally does go for that Soul's Bulwark, so going to be able to hit even harder in the next team fights as the Kelpfield comes out over here, and Keizu could be in some serious trouble. The Hellfire going to be coming out and trying to turn this one around. Luna is there, power throw. There's the Stalagmites and the Emerald Lightning. Keizu will go down to the Chuck. I ain't talking about no Chuck roast. I'm talking about Pebbles throwing people up in the air and dropping them into the ground. Oh, Chuck roast sounds good, though. I'm hungry, guys. Those of you that joined me nice and early today, had those apple slices like 4 hours ago. Yeah, about 4 hours ago now. As in the top lane, Bubbles takes the Bat Blast and slicks on the ultimate warrior streak. Very, very well done right there. coL going to be coming in. Here's the Seismic Slam. Pebble's going to take a ton of damage. Nice dodge on the Stalagmites as well. And Swindlemelon's just playing that engagement phenomenally. Very, very well done. Did he have a haste? Like, he seemed to close that distance remarkably fast. And this rally pickup just paying off dividends right now. Could be in some trouble as Keeper wants to come up and go head-to-head, but going to turn it around and actually just pound out the auto attacks right here. Keeper taking a ton of damage. There's the Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be coming in. The Mummy Wall going to be going up as well. And the keg will finish off Keeper the Forest, even though he was invis. And there's no... Okay, Engineer had the eye, but that was even before the eye. Just sheer AoE damage at that point. Wow, very well done there by the stayGreen team. 193 gold per minute now on Soul Stealer. He's recovering as best as he can in this bottom lane, but Soul Stealer's recovery is incredible. But when you're coming from 50 some odd gold per minute, it is so hard to actually make that comeback and make it happen when you're going up against a 500 GPM rally, a 400 GPM Wretched Hag, when you got Pharaoh and Tempest looking to lock you down constantly. And Complexity, they're in a really big hole right now. Possibilities are still there, of course, with a decently farmed Pebbles, 326 gold per minute. You can always get the pickoffs on somebody like the Wretched Hag, the Tempest, the Engineer especially. But SG doing a great job right now at making sure to stay together. As a nice dodge, the Deafening Roar though, the Seismic Slam not going to connect, and here comes the Tempest going to be coming in. Swindleson, no, come on! And Tempest actually going to take the root right here, wants to turn it around. There's the Elemental Void catching 4 players. The Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be coming in. Bat Blast hits, and I don't know about that one, Riser. Chuck on the Tempest. Tempest will go down, but 2 players already dead from the Complexity squad. Wretched Hag almost dead. Auto attack going to be able to finish her off. Nice taunt from Moon Meander, and the energy field going to be going up right here. Pebble's in some trouble, trying to chuck some people out of the energy field. Beakit does go down, and Moon maybe in some trouble himself. The coPEL is available and is going to escape. So I really don't know. Like, Riser, that was a big mistake from him using that route. When you know that Tempest has the ultimate available, you can't use that route. You need to have that available to break up the Tempest ult, and you can't get caught inside of it, which is exactly what happened. 3 players getting caught inside. Bat Blast, Wrath of the Pharaoh, so much damage coming out. And so, yeah, just a big mistake right there from Riser, costing them a few kills. Not a huge deal. They got Wretched Hag and Tempest in response, losing... Who did they lose? They killed Riser. They killed Franzi. And was that it? Hold on a second. That was it. Hold on a second. No, they... Really? Oh, wow. Okay. No, they killed Beakit at the end. Okay, got you. So 3 for 2 exchange there. Still favoring stayGreen a little bit. I'm blind. I feel like it could have been even worse for Complexity. He's in the top lane. Riser does go down. Hellflower being shown off, and Riser just giving up some unnecessary kills right now. Perhaps getting a little distracted. I'm not quite sure. Maybe some dissent coming in from the team at this point. I mean, I know that if I was in this game, that the morale factor would definitely be affecting me. When you're down this significantly, there's always the possibility that there's somebody mad, but it's just a scrim. No reason to get too mad as Francie snipes a bunch of kills right there. So I have no inclination that they are mad, but I know that there is the possibility that when there's some discussions going on, that people can go on tilt and start playing a little bit worse. And, well, Riser getting caught out right there. Could be a result of that, not sure. Just speculation at this point. Demonic Breastplate has been finished up on Swindlemelons, 494 gold per minute. There's the portal key on Tempest as well, and the Hellflower Hag showing that off with the kill on Riser. SG still looking very good, and they're going to be able to take down Kogor right now. Easy peasy. Probably going to drop that token onto Slicks. And as he steps forward, yep, picks up the token. Going to be able to get in deep in those fights before he works on his Shrunken Head. Probably going to be picking up a Mighty Blade here any second. But I would definitely expect to be working on that Shrunken Head. Wants to have something to break that Keeper of the Forest route at some point here. So right now, SG just kind of sitting back and farming. They're confident with that Token of Life that they're going to be able to take any further pushes in team fights. And looks like they're looking to push the last outer remaining tower here. Bottom lane, prime target. And then going to be able to do some ward sweeping. Taking a look at the wards currently for Z-Freak. He had one up there in the top lane to actually assist with that push. And then, of course, one in the jungle and one covering the Kong pit. So nice warding overall. No overwarding this time. Shout out to Z-Freak. I mean, he's a billion times better of a support player than I am, and it's really easy to criticize somebody from the eye in the sky. But just pointed that out a few games ago. As going to be trading top for bottom tier 2 towers, most likely. Tower will be going down up here in the top lane, actually glyphing it. So, going to be looking for it to get shot 2 more times by this catapult and then going for the deny. Keeper of the Forest is there, though. Keeper wants to actually come in here and try to finish this one off. Is in the bottom lane, not in deny range. So, there you go. Deny does come in right there. And Keeper of the Forest trying to blink away should be just fine. Soul Stealer going for that nice early firebrand. Well, not early. Okay, hold on. Not early at all. Early first item firebrand. There we go. Going for a first item firebrand and then picking up the Mighty Blade. So going to be working toward his Shrunken Head before he picks up something like a portal key that might not even be something. Hellfire going out right here. There's the Bat Blast as well. Raptor Pharaoh going to finish him off, and Pebbles trying to get the counter kill into Hack. There goes the token. TP's going to be coming in right here and gets the invis off onto Pebbles. Turret going to be coming in as well, doing a lot of damage and going to prevent them from following up at all. But here comes Swindle Melons. He's saying, hey guys, what's going on? You want to party? Compel missing. Seismic Slam canceled right there. The Deafening Roar already going out. And Tempest going to be coming in, dropping the Glacial Blast. There's the Kelp Field onto 2 players. And here comes Soul Stealer. Ultimate from Engineer going to be going up, using it for positioning right there. As B-Kid gets taken out in the back. And tower does go down in favor of the stayGreen. There's the Seismic Slam taking out Soul Stealer. And Complexity, the Elemental Void, just using the on Luna right there. Complexity, 3 players down. Buyback right there on the Moon Meander. And he's going to be coming back in. Buyback on B-Kid as well. Going to catch Tempest, and Tempest will go down. And going to be a lot of pressure applied as well. Hellfire going to be going out onto Bubbles as there's the Soda Scream to finish out. Hat trick for Slicks. And trying to finish off Keeper of the Forest. Will they be able to? They will indeed. Pebbles still trying to get away. Not invis anymore. Last auto attacks here from Wretched Hag. Not doing a whole lot. He's got a ton of armor and will be able to save himself. But the GG's coming out. Legion team voting to concede. And not passing just yet. Beacon wants to come in here and a flubbed Compel right there. Another portal key, and Beacon will be able to finish this. No. Hits the concede button, and that's going to be it. stayGreen taking game number 3 and putting themselves up 2-1 in this Scrim series. Of course, not tournaments, just practice games right now, but looked very, very dominant over that Soul Stealer. I mean, that's all I can say is that Soul Stealer pick just did not work out for them, and stayGreen had the perfect counter to it and executed it nearly flawlessly. 5-0 and 9. Rally being played by Swindlebones. Great play by both teams. But Swindle, I mean, great draft, great play. A good game. Guys, we're going to be getting into another Scrim here momentarily. This has been coLcast presents Scrimcast Live with me, your casting host, Beef. And we'll be getting into a new one here in just a second. Don't go anywhere before that, though. A huge shout out to Complexity Gaming and to these teams for really being here, putting on a show for us. And make sure to check out Complexity Gaming over at ComplexityGaming.com, the brand new coL website, where you can check out on the front page, read up all about the Sound Blaster invite number 4, Q Squad 357, Nova, and the boys. So make sure to check that over there at ComplexityGaming.com. And of course, to the coL sponsors, QPAD, PNY, Origin, Sound Blaster, Twitch, and G8 brand. Guys, we'll be right back with more Scrimcast. Don't go anywhere. coLcast all day long.